Hey, welcome back to Talking Dumps. I'm your host, Dump Hard Dump. Um, for people who collect home media and are fans of DVDs, VHS, Blu-ray, the like, laser discs, shout out to my LD people. Um, the people who are into the physical media, just if nothing else, then they like having just a physical thing they can hold that isn't just digital or whatever. Uh, they know the deal that even though DVD is still the most purchased in the market share of DVD, Blu-ray, 4K, all that stuff, DVDs are still the most purchased, but they've discontinued them. They're like, enough. We're not going to make those anymore. We're going to go move strictly onto Blu-ray. They're taking too much space up on the shelf in the stores for the price that they are worth. So they're going to phase them out. And don't worry, people. There's still going to be Blu-ray 4Ks floating around. It's just eventually they'll then phase those out, and those will be in dump bins. And the cycle will perpetuate eventually until we have a dump bin full of holograms. And I'll just be walking by having people asking me to help them General Kenobi or whatever. So right now, because the push out of trying to get rid of these discs is a thing that people don't want on their floor space at their stores, some stores in particular, the dollar stores, I believe it's Family Dollar? Yeah, Family Dollar, I think, whatever. The dollar stores around here are pushing all their DVDs and Blu-rays $2 for $1. And I walked by, like, I don't know, probably, that's where I go get my goodies and my snacks from, and whenever I need, like, I had to go get some Armor All, and I had to get some bathroom air freshener and stuff. So that's great for the dollar store. So one time I was in there, and I'm walking by, and I see a whole bunch of DVDs and Blu-rays. I'm like, wow, Blu-rays are at the dollar store now, right? I remember when Blu-rays used to be, like, all $20 a piece, no matter what, just because they were in HD, and then the videos that were at the dollar store were always just like knockoff Bobo, like Christmas cartoons or weird knockoff cartoons, like some weird bears that have a life lessons to teach people or whatever, strange animation from foreign countries, and you have no idea what they're teaching your children, but it's $1, right? So when I walked by, I kind of saw they had Blu-rays, and I was like kind of peeked, and I saw, and this is probably like, I don't know, 3 months ago or something, before the word got out that they were pimping out these DVDs and selling them so cheap. And I grabbed The Purge and Star Trek II Wrath of Khan, both on Blu-ray. Now, I have both of these on DVD, and my Blu-rays, or my special edition of Wrath of Khan is like one of my favorite of all time. Like that special edition DVD has been with me for probably 20 years, and I've heard Nicholas Meyer's commentary probably as much as I've heard, Khan give his speech while he puts that weird thing in Chekhov's ear, right? So just to have it on Blu-ray, and I think all the same features that were on that Ultimate Edition are even on here. I haven't even taken the plastic off because I know I was going to do this video. So I get up to the counter with these thinking, man, $2, that's awesome. And it's, no, 50 cents a piece. So I got these two for $1. So that was cool. By the way, I don't know if you like The Purge or not. If you like either of these movies, any of these movies I'm going to talk about, or especially these two, these are the winners. But The Purge, I liked a lot when it first came out, and people didn't like it. They were like, I thought it was going to be scarier. I thought it was going to be more, jump scare, horrific, and bloody murder. Instead, it was more of a thriller, but it was, psychological. I digged it. It was a good way to make a Hitchcockian movie on a low budget, and it's a bunch of people in a house, but it's the future. But what makes it the future? We said it was, So I enjoyed The Purge, and then, of course, like 10 years later, there's like 15 Purges and a Purge TV show and stuff. It's like, I told you guys. Why don't you listen? So that's why I started this channel, so I would tell you guys. I could point back and say, told you. By the way, on a side note, I told you in one of my short YouTube shorts that Russell Crowe's precious ego won't allow him to call any scary movies he's in horror movies. So that Unhinged movie, which is clearly a horror movie, he treats like a thriller. So now that he's got The Pope's Exorcist out, he's talking about like, oh yeah, I don't really do horror. I don't like horror. But it's like, I told you. So anyways, that whole side tangent is completely irrelevant. I'll probably cut that out, but maybe I won't. Nobody watches these. So I saw on the internet of other people start posting videos of them digging through the dump bins at dollar stores and other places because these things are going away. And I was like, saw a whole bunch of good ones, like other people finding some real treasures. So I got back to my dollar store. Well, first I stopped by my Walmart one day when I was there, and I did a video for that. So I recommend Down in the Dumps. Check it out, episode 1. It's a very limited episode because these things are going away. But in that, I also decided I needed to make a trip to get to these dollar stores to make sure there weren't anything left. There's got to be other collectors in my Wisconsin area. I live close enough to Milwaukee and Chicago that I'm going to get a lot of people who are trying to hit every dollar store around to see what they can build up for 50 cents. So I hit 2 dollar stores, and you saw the videos there that just went by. Thanks for riding through that with me. Anyways, me making smart alecky comments while looking at DVDs in dump bins has got to just be exhilarating. But at the same time, it's better than a lot of the stuff I end up watching. Let's see here. We got. Okay, so at Dollar Store 1 I went to, I got these 6. So obviously for $3. No Blu-rays, which was a bummer. All the Blu-rays are gone, and everything of worth is gone. But I was like, you know what? That's the perfect low-budget horror movie treasure to find. Because either I'm going to find something that just looks horror-ish, and I'm going to watch it someday and be like, oh, this is a hidden treasure, and I'm telling everybody I know about it. Or it's a total piece of crap, and I'm going to show this to people so they can laugh at how bad this movie I found for 50 cents is, right? Win-win with the horror in the dollar bin dump bin, the dollar store dump bin. But if you're trying to collect other good movies, I'm missing 2 of the 3 Fast and Furiouses or whatever. It's like, nah, you're done on that, bro. So the 6 movies I picked up here are Shut In with Naomi Watts. Ever heard of it? Me neither. Sounds interesting. It's a Trapped in the Snow movie. I'm a sucker for a good Trapped in the Snow movie. I live where we get tons of snow, so I'm forced to sit inside, and so movies about people who have mental issues with cabin fever and stuff, always it gets to me. This one, Flavor Flav's Night Tales, Dead Tone. So apparently there's 9 of these movies with Flavor Flav as the host. Apparently they're trying to get in how Snoop Dogg was the host of some stuff. It looks really cheap and bad. But it's got Rutger Hauer. So for 50 cents, I'm in right away. Flavor Flav, Rutger Hauer, horror. Yes, 50 cents. That's perfect. But it's also got the girl who was Punky Brewster's best friend on the old TV show, Sherry, whatever. She disappeared, and now she's been turning up in low-budget movies. So as soon as I saw her in this too, I'm like, oh, between you and Rutger, I can probably make it through this. So that's a definite check out sometime. You know what I mean? For 50 cents right there, the poster alone is worth it. I got Shark Night. I think that's pretty self-explanatory, right? I'll just stick that next to Jaws on the shelf, right? And then I got Dead Sea. Now, Dead Sea looks to me to be like Dagon. Are you familiar with Dagon? I think it's a Lovecraft story. It's a underwater sea monster kind of thing. It's a Leviathan, right? You familiar with Leviathan? Deep Star 6? Is any of this ringing a bell to you? No? Okay. So Dead Sea appears to be real, underwater sea monster. And I'm into sea monsters, which sounds like a real childish thing to say, because it is a childish thing to say. But the reason I like sea monsters is because I understand that when people first started building big boats and got out on the oceans, a giant squid or a giant whale is a sea monster. Okay, so sea monsters are real. I totally believe in them. It's just you haven't, diagnosed them with actual zoology yet. So yeah, the sea has all sorts of weird ass shit. You ever see the thing with the light bulb that hangs in front of it? Yeah, see what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about. Speaking of weird ass shit, weird ass stuff, the Wyvern. It looks to be basically Tremors, except the monster flies. So it's kind of a dragon, except it doesn't breathe fire. I don't know. It looks all right. It grabbed my attention. I'm a sucker for the cardboard sleeve. Anytime I see a movie with the DVD or Blu-ray that comes with the special covered sleeve, I always feel like it's a little extra special. So yeah, I got the Wyvern. It'll be the death of you. I don't know. I may watch it and find out it's the Wyvern. It's not important right now. And then I got the Devil Inside. inspired by true events. I've seen this one on streaming a couple times. It's one that I kind of have a love-hate relationship with. There's certain parts of it I enjoy a lot, and there's certain parts I like fold my arms and make the face at. So I like a lot of Exorcist movies. Exorcism of Emily Rose. Sorry, my mouth gets tongue-tied with all these E's and X's. The Exorcism of Emily Rose and The Exorcist, and just all that sort of. Catholic mythology is scary as hell. So you can spin a yarn with creepy demons and gobbledygook that haunted, enchanted speeches and stuff that you have to make. So yeah, I'm all in on the spooky nuns and whatnot. So then this morning, before I shot this video, when I was out running errands, I stopped by the other Dollar Tree in town. See, I'm careful because I stopped at a different dollar store and they didn't have them, and they were still charging outrageous prices. They wanted like $15 for DVDs. I was like, you got to be kidding me. So yeah, these with the 50 cents though, these are a heck of a deal. So this time I went through and I noticed that they had a 4-creature film, and I got Dead Sea again. The problem is it came with these other little 3s right here, and these were the 3 I wanted. So Dead Sea is a main event, and now I got it twice. So I am now going to be one of the foremost authorities on the Dead Sea films. If there's more than one, I don't know. So we will go on this journey together, Night Owls. But the other movies on here that I wanted, the ones that are too tiny for you to really get a look at, are Robo-Croc. You had me at right? Robo-Croc, I'm all in, and it's got Super Tanker, about some people trying to get a giant oil tanker across tumultuous seas, and Dracano. And I was intrigued as hell by Dracano. Is that part volcano, part dragon? Or part volcano, part Dracula? I know, right? My mind was blown too. But no, the Dracano is the first step. It's the dragon and the volcano. Someone, has a volcano, a bunch of dragons come out, and the next thing they're fighting dragons. So it kind of, Dracano goes with the Wyvern, and then Robo-Croc goes over by Lake Placid, and then Dead Sea will go by Dagon, and I don't think I have that Peter Benchley movie that's just like that. Peter Benchley, after Jaws, had another movie that was just like Leviathan and all them, and the cover even looked exactly like this. So, yeah, whatever. I don't know how I got off on Peter Benchley. At some point, Russell Crowe got drug into this. Ridiculous. So, the other 3 movies I got for a whopping $2. So for $6, I got this big stack of videos that I made content out of. That was money well spent. This is Dark Was the Night, with Marissa Tomei, Timothy Oliphant, and some lady, I don't know, who looks vaguely like Jessica Biel, but isn't. This one comes with a cardboard case. I had to open this one because I think the reason nobody else bought it is it was one of those where the DVD was loose in it. So as soon as I got it home, I tore the cover off, or the plastic off, and made sure it was fine. This is about a story, a mother and a son both go insane at the same time, and then the mother kind of regains her sanity and goes back and rescues her son who's off in the wilderness. It sounded wild, man. So yeah, I'll at least check it out. Once again, a movie in the snow in the wilderness. I'm always cool. And then I got these 2 Woody Allen movies. Man, Woody Allen and his bullshit. His movies can be had for 50 cents a piece. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. At the first dollar store I went to, I saw they had like Radio Days and what's it called? Shadow and Fog or whatever. And it was real common. It was like they had too much shadow and fog and all this. And I'm like, why is that? So I'm not particularly a Woody Allen fan, but I know before society really turned on him, people celebrated him as a genius. And I'm a person who can kind of separate the art from the artist. So there's a lot of the Woody Allen stuff that I saw as a kid I'd like to go back and watch again. And, a lot of stuff that I never saw that I'm probably mature enough to enjoy now, whatever. But I know for a fact I like Zelig. Zelig, is it too? Whatever, close enough. Zelig, Zelig is basically like a Forrest Gump type movie. It's fun. I don't know. I the first time I saw it when I was a kid, I enjoyed it, and then when I was a kid, when I was in college, they saw for some class I was in, we had to write a paper on Zelig. So it's all right, whatever. I mean, if you have opinions about Woody Allen, feel free to put them in the comments. I understand, don't have nothing to do with me. I know. My hands are free on this one, boss. And then also The Purple Rose of Cairo. This one's this is a movie about love of cinema. So, and most of Woody Allen's films are that. He tries to put in his own, thoughts about love and life and whatever, but then a lot of it's just love of cinema. So, Purple Rose of Cairo is one of his main love of cinema movies. Only saw it once, probably been 20 years since I saw it. I remember specifically, like, the scene, I think he, like, reaches out and pulls her up into the whatever. So, you can kind of get the artsy classic movies, and then I also saw a lot of just sports movies, the Boston Red Sox celebrating their championships and stuff. So the ultimate point of this story is, if you're looking for good DVDs and Blu-rays and your store hasn't been picked over yet, you live in a far out of the way place, go check in there. You might be able to get something for 50 cents. But if you live in a well-trafficked area that, gets a lot of turnover. Another side note, dollar stores are dirty as hell, so get some Purell while you're there. Dollar stores are about as clean as having unprotected sex in an alley. All right, so don't catch anything in a dollar store and blame me for sending you there to get 50-cent movies. Okay, it's go shorty, it's your birthday. Anyways, enough of this episode of Talking Dumps. Mom, go get the kids. Talking Dumps is on. I will catch you later, especially if I find more dump bins to dig through. And other than that, you tell me if you found anything good in the dump bins in your area. I've given you a lot to tell me in this episode, so you better be telling me some stuff. Otherwise, you take it easy, and I'll catch you later.